Welcome to this training. I'm so glad that you're here. This training is called Stop Making Life So Damn Hard. And today we're going to cover the four-phase framework for creating a beautiful life that's more than just one giant to do list. But really quickly, before we get started, I'm about to turn the camera around and show you my face because I will have my camera off for most of this training so you can focus on the information in the slides. But really quickly, I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see my face.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and this is my face. You won't see it for the rest of the training because I just want you to focus on all the information, all the goodness, and my voice as I'm talking to you throughout the rest of this training. You don't need to see my face to get the value out of it. I just want you to focus on all the information that you're about to get. It might feel like drinking from a water hose a little bit, but I promise you it's going to be amazing. I'm so glad you're here.
So, like I said, if you don't know me yet, I'm Amanda. It's so nice to meet you. I wish that I could see your face too. And I have a very full life with two adorable kiddos, a marriage that I prioritize, a full time job that I love, and a business that has become my third child and passion. So, on paper, I have what many would consider a pretty busy life. And I want you to keep that in mind throughout this training because when I first learned about feminine energy, I loved the concept and I was immediately drawn to it. But I had some doubts and I thought things like, yeah, but I can't experience that because I have way too much on my plate. And I'm here to tell you that my whole framework for healing is designed around the assumption that you do too. I had to make healing my wounded feminine energy work in my life. I felt different from the girls that I saw talking about this stuff without kids or without a conventional job. And I didn't feel envious or resentful for their situations, which were on paper easier than mine. But of course, that was just internal. But I knew that I would have to do things differently to make it work for me and my situation. And I'm here to help the overwhelmed mamas and high achieving working ladies that need this healing the most and who think that it's not possible for them. That's who I serve. So I've healed my wounded feminine energy. I went from unhappy on the hamster wheel to finding joy and peace in my life. I went from controlling everything to being joyfully led. And now I am so fortunate to help other women do the same. But before we start, this special time is for you. So turn off your phone, close any other tabs, and get rid of any distractions and just dial in and dedicate this next hour or so to yourself. And you might just want to grab a pen and a notebook because you'll probably want to take notes. And ask questions. Don't be shy. Ask any questions, share your thoughts, and engage with others watching this by asking questions. Join in the live chat on the right or below on mobile. I'll be live in the chat with you. And if you're catching the replay, leave a comment and I'll get back to you ASAP. I'm going to be watching like a hawk these next few days. And before we start, I have a question for you. Have you ever felt like even though your life looks really good on the outside, inside at your core, it feels very chaotic and maybe lacks a sense of peace or deep rooted joy that you desperately crave? Does that resonate? Do you want to stop living a life that looks amazing on Instagram or to others, but inside it feels like one giant to do list? Do you want to instead create a reality that finally feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside? And I want you to write this down. Why haven't you found that sense of peace and fulfillment yet? Think about it and write it down. And I really want you to think on this hard. What has held you back from that peaceful, calm, and fulfilled version of your life? Could it be fear? Doubt that version is even possible for you, considering how full your life is? Or is it maybe feelings of unworthiness or a lack of clarity on what you really want your life to look and feel like? I wonder if any of this resonates, if it sounds like you. You want to feel cherished, desired, and supported by your partner without constantly nagging, reminding, or mothering him into action. You've tried productivity systems, self care routines, and endlessly optimizing your schedule, but nothing has actually created any lasting relief. And you're still here feeling overwhelmed by the mental and emotional load that you carry. You just wish that you could wake up feeling excited and at peace instead of immediately eyes open and you're thinking about your to do list, and experience a life that flows naturally rather than the one that you have to constantly manage and control. So tell me in the chat, which of those scenarios best describes why you came here today? Is it because you want to feel supported without having to nag? Or because you've tried everything you can to optimize your time, but nothing really creates any real lasting relief? Or you just want to wake up feeling excited and at peace instead of weighed down by your to do list? Whichever you identified with, I know that you're going to get a lot out of this training, because here's what you're going to learn today: how to stop making life feel so damn hard by going through my proven 4-step survive to thrive framework. Step 1 is survive. We're breaking free from exhaustion. You're going to discover how your achievement oriented energy is blocking natural leadership in your partner, and learn the exact techniques to break the exhaustion cycle without sacrificing your success or letting anything important slide. In step 2, the revive phase, we're restoring romantic polarity. We're going to learn how to inspire natural leadership by mastering the counterintuitive lean back method that magnetically inspires your man to step up without any nagging, criticism, or mothering him into action. And you'll learn how to restore the passionate attraction by restoring polarity. Step 3 is our alive phase, where you're reconnecting with your feminine essence. You're going to learn the forgotten art of receiving and reclaim the natural soft flow state that makes you feel radiant, desirable, and effortlessly magnetic. You're going to learn how to finally stop doing everything yourself and accepting help without feeling guilty, and reclaim the natural soft flow state of just being your true self, the youest version of you possible, as I like to say, and feeling desirable and confident without trying so hard. And the last step is thrive, where we're creating your magnetic future. You're going to develop the sustainable practices that maintain that natural polarity in your relationship and your soft feminine state, even during stress, even during really high work demands, or motherhood's toughest battles, and all of life's challenges that will still come your way. Because, spoiler alert, healing your wounded feminine energy doesn't mean that life suddenly starts treating you softly. Rather, it means that you heal in a way where you can manage it and how those blows feel and affect you. But before we begin, I hope that it's okay with you that I quickly first share my personal story. I think that it will be relevant to you in some way or another, and I just want to open up in that way. And it will help you understand how I got here and learned and implemented all that we're going to talk about today. So, 4 years ago, I was a new mom whose life had just been turned completely upside down. Honestly, motherhood caught me off guard. I was not mentally prepared for the physical or the mental toll that it would take. I loved my baby more than anything, and I was happy to be a mom, but man, did it ever kick my butt in ways that I never imagined. And at the same time, I accidentally became the breadwinner of my family when I had two babies back to back, which I know sounds crazy. How did I become the primary breadwinner of my family when I had my two babies? Well, it's kind of a long story, but here's the short version. I am a self employed person and I live in Canada, and I didn't get much of a maternity leave because I'm self employed, but employed fathers are equally eligible for paternity leave here. So on paper, that made so much sense. My husband took off that paid time off with our babies, which was wonderful. But due to a lot of reasons that stacked up, that was the choice that we made. I was going to go back to work. I worked from home, so that seemed like it made a lot of sense. And he was going to stay home with us. And, it just made a lot of sense on paper. But it wasn't until much later that we both realized how harmful it was and how much damage it had done. We did not expect that. We both thought that we were going to be very happy with that situation. But there was damage done, both to my husband and I as individuals and to our marriage overall. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So I was working full time, which made sense for us because my job has always been work from home, even before it was cool, even before COVID. And don't get me wrong, even though I was working from home, I was still working a super demanding role. And I'm actually going to share more about what that role is later. So stick around because it's actually very relevant to you. So I was doing that during the days. I was trying to kill it at work, which felt impossible because I had mom brain and mom guilt and I was sleep deprived. And. And then when I could step away from work, I wanted to almost overcompensate and be super mom. I poured absolutely everything into my kids when I wasn't working, more than was even necessary, to be honest, because I felt guilty for working and being away from them for most of the day. And I chose this picture because it's actually a really good representation of what my inner world felt like. And I remember this event vividly. I was trying to get some work done and to get a workout in. I don't know if you can see the walking pad in kind of the top left corner of that picture. And that was under my standing desk while I was alone with my toddlers. And one of them came in, startled me. I tripped off my walking pad and at a pretty good speed, might I add. And I grabbed my desk on instinct and crashed my giant computer to the ground. And that was a turning point because I vowed at that moment that I was going to change my life and how I lived it because I couldn't do this anymore. And I have to say this, my husband did all that he possibly could to help me not feel this way, but it didn't matter. My guilt and desire to prove myself as a good employee and a good mom and a good wife and a good everything was internal. And by the way, back then, good, quote unquote, to me meant doing. I thought that I was a good mom if I did XYZ above and beyond to overcompensate for the fact that I had a job. And I thought I was a good employee if I did more than was expected of me and my role to overcompensate for the fact that I was now a mother. And I thought that I was being a good wife if I was just doing as much as possible as I could for my husband. And not that I would ever call it that at that time, but in hindsight, yeah, I was totally mothering him. And I thought that that was a good thing. Hint, it was not. And without either of us realizing it, I was fully operating in my wounded masculine energy. I was painfully out of touch with my feminine energy, which was completely wounded and broken. I was exhausted, overwhelmed, and frankly, unhappy. And it wasn't until a couple years later that I knew I was desperate for a change. And maybe you can relate to some of those struggles. I appeared successful enough on the outside, like I had it all, the cookie cutter family, good job, nice home. But inside, I felt empty. My life just felt like one giant, exhausting, never ending, unfulfilling to do list. Because on the inside, I was struggling hard. Despite how hard I was trying to act like I had it all together, I most certainly did not. On the inside, I had a marriage that had become, frankly, quite dull and frustrating. And the more I tried to manage everything, the less passionate and connected that we felt. I thought that I was doing everything right, but everything felt wrong. I was suffering from complete mental and emotional exhaustion. I was operating in my masculine energy 24/7 at work, at home, in my marriage, as a mom, with no space to just breathe or just be me. I'd completely lost myself. And as a mom, I was short tempered and high strung with my kids. No matter how much I did, I never felt like the mom that I wanted to be because I was too busy doing to enjoy being with them and actually soaking it in. Then I finally discovered that my feminine energy was deeply wounded. So I began healing my relationship with softness and surrender, not as a weakness, but as the most profound form of strength that I'd ever known. And when I did that, this is what happened. My husband naturally began stepping up in ways that I'd silently been wishing for without nagging or managing him. He reconnected with his natural leadership abilities that had been there all along, taking initiative and making decisions that made me feel strongly led. The passion in our relationship reignited. The polarity between us created a hot magnetic attraction that made us feel like we were dating again. The same amazing man, but a completely different dynamic and energy between us. But most of all, I finally feel at peace. The constant tension, pressure, and overwhelm has been replaced with a natural flow that makes life feel easier, even though I'm still accomplishing what matters. In fact, because I feel more at peace and am thriving rather than surviving, I'm accomplishing even more than I ever thought was possible. And today, I'm living the life that I used to think was impossible, achieving my dreams without hustle or feeling stressed, being present with my kids, and being the mom that I feel they deserve, and in a marriage that feels supportive, passionate, and right for both of us. Being aligned with my feminine energy has become my superpower. I'm living a life that I used to think was impossible, one that is aligned with my soft feminine energy. I want to introduce you to Jill because she also achieved this inner peace and softness by inspiring her husband's masculine energy by just learning to lean into her own feminine energy. She says, "Okay, girl, so the stuff that you're doing is legit. My hubby is the sweetest and I love him dearly, but lots of the more masculine things have fallen on me, especially with his back being so bad before surgery. Today we were leaving to go to the city, and without me even asking, he started and cleaned off the car, shoveled the driveway, and pumped gas. And it sounds bad that I used to always do that, but I also did live alone for 5 years before we got together, so I was used to it too. I think that's something that a lot of us can relate to." And she says, "But this has become a very welcome shift." Just imagine that feeling when you walk into a room and your man's eyes light up just from seeing you, when you feel that he's obsessed with you again, or when you no longer need to remind or nag him because he naturally takes initiative. Imagine that feeling when your life feels deliciously easy instead of exhaustingly hard. When you've created this space to come alive as the woman that you've always dreamt up and has always been inside you all along. She's just been hidden under your masculine energy. That magnetic energy where you're cherished for who you are, exactly as you are, not just what you do for work or for others. So, where do we start? Well, today I'm going to walk you through the exact framework that transformed my life from constant overwhelm to one of freedom and ease and has helped other high achieving women just like you reclaim their feminine power without sacrificing their success. So let's get started. The first step is to simply survive, but survive from a healthy, solid foundation that supports your feminine energy by breaking free from exhaustion. The main things that keep high achieving women in survival mode are constantly operating in your masculine energy, doing, achieving, controlling, carrying the mental and emotional load for everyone, being the CEO of your home, family, career, and relationship, and feeling like if you don't do it, it won't get done right. And here are some of the impacts that survival mode has on you. Your feminine energy becomes wounded and depleted. Your body stays in constant fight or flight response. You lose connection with your intuition and your desires. You become addicted to control and achievement. Your natural magnetism is blocked by your exhaustion. And we start the process of breaking that exhausting cycle with awareness by identifying where your energy is being drained, recognizing control patterns and their root causes, understanding the difference between masculine and feminine energy, creating sacred space for yourself without guilt, and implementing immediate relief points in your daily life. And here are some of the common mistakes and pitfalls to watch out for because most women try to fix their exhaustion by creating more systems and to do lists, or pushing their partner to step up through criticism, or taking on even more responsibility to get it right, or by neglecting themselves until everything else is perfect. But this approach only deepens the problem and creates more resistance. But that's not how we do things in the feminine power blueprint. We don't add to your plate. We do not hustle or teach rigid systems. We go so much deeper than surface level BS self care. And we teach feminine flow that feels easier and truly restorative long term. Here's a quick overview of just some of the content we provide and cover. In Module 1, Breaking Free from Survival Mode, we identify exactly where your energy is being drained and create immediate relief. We give you a feminine reset toolkit, simple, consistent habits that fit into your busy life and quickly shift you out of masculine energy. We have the self protection system to learn to create and maintain boundaries that preserve your feminine energy. And we teach strategic energy management. Discover what to delegate, what to eliminate, and what to embrace. And women in my program often experience noticeable relief within the first few days of implementing these techniques. And I want you to write this down in your notes. What is one area of your life where you're constantly operating in survival mode? Where are you managing and controlling instead of flowing? And this awareness is your first step to breaking free. The next step is to revive your romantic partnership by inspiring natural leadership in him without having to say a word. And this is one of my favorite parts of the transformation because it really is so powerful and freeing. Here's what we need to understand about relationship polarity. Every relationship needs both masculine and feminine energy. Polarity creates attraction, passion, and natural flow. When both partners operate in the same energy, the connection fades. High achieving women often carry both energies, leaving no space for their partner or his masculine energy. And your feminine energy naturally activates his masculine energy. And this is why nagging him never ever, I mean never, works. Because criticism shuts down masculine energy immediately. When you take control, he has no space to lead. Constant direction creates a passive response in him. Mothering your partner kills attraction and his respect for you. Micromanagement leads to resentment on both sides. So instead, we simply inspire him. We don't demand, we don't nag, we don't micromanage. We do this by creating space for his leadership to emerge, strategic appreciation that motivates action, the power of leaning back without becoming passive, how to communicate your needs without nagging, and trusting the process even when it feels uncomfortable. Here are some common mistakes and pitfalls to watch out for because most women try to fix their man by having serious conversations about what needs to change, or creating something like chore charts or systems to manage their partner, criticizing when things aren't done correctly, giving up and just doing everything herself, forcing change instead of inspiring it naturally. And this approach creates resistance and actually deepens the masculine feminine imbalance. Frankly, it makes things worse. But that's not how we do things in the feminine power blueprint. We inspire masculine energy and action. We do not force, nag, mother, or criticize. And the men, they love it. And here's a really quick overview of just some of the content that we provide and cover. The polarity principle, understand the natural laws and attraction of leadership and how to set them on fire. Leaning back techniques, learn to create space for him to step up without becoming passive. Communication transformation, how to inspire his masculine action without nagging, mothering, or criticism. And module 4 is dedicated to awakening natural leadership, the specific approaches that magnetize masculine energy without you having to say a damn word. And the women I work with often see their partners naturally stepping up within the first week of applying these methods because it's so powerful. So, write this down. You cannot lecture a man into masculinity. You can only create the space for it to emerge naturally. And this is why everything that you've tried before hasn't worked. The next step is to come alive by reconnecting with your essence, or as I love to say, the youest version of you possible. This is where you stop living for others or external expectations or looking for external validation, and you lean into the exact version of life that is meant for you. You decide what that looks like, and I help you live it out. It's time to rediscover what truly lights you up. Most women have forgotten what brings them genuine joy. Success and achievement have replaced pleasure and flow. Your feminine essence thrives on sensory experiences, reconnecting with desires beyond your to do list. The power of pleasure is a pathway back to yourself. We work on breaking free from feeling guilty over prioritizing ourselves. And this looks like understanding why prioritizing yourself actually serves everyone around you. The difference between selfishness and self honoring, the feminine energy, how feminine energy requires nurturing and protection, creating space for yourself without apologizing, and why your well being must become non negotiable. And something foreign to many of us, used to just giving so much of ourselves, we need to learn the forgotten art of receiving. Feminine energy thrives on receiving, not just giving. How constant doing blocks your natural magnetism, learning to accept compliments, help, and support, the counterintuitive power of surrender, opening to receive as a form of strength and not weakness. And here are some of the common mistakes and pitfalls to watch out for because most women struggle with feeling guilty for focusing on yourself, believing that self care is selfish or indulgent, putting everyone else's needs first consistently, being unable to receive help without feeling guilty, feeling uncomfortable with pleasure and rest, and seeing feminine practices as frivolous or unproductive. But that's not how we do things in the feminine power blueprint. We teach you to prioritize yourself without guilt. We help you remember who you are deep down and get back to her. We don't add more things to do. We restore your natural ability to be. Here's a quick overview of just some of the content that we provide and cover to support this. Desire rediscovery process. Reconnect with what truly lights you up. Permission frameworks, break free from guilt, and finally embrace self focus. The art of receiving practices, open to support without resistance. Pleasure pathways, practical ways to incorporate joy and flow. Deep feminine embodiment techniques to return to your natural soft feminine essence. And the women that I've worked with tell me that they are feeling more authentic joy and magnetism within just a couple weeks of implementing these approaches. The next big step is where you really begin to thrive by dreaming and living bigger than you can probably even imagine right now because you're blocked. Your stifling, overpowering masculine energy is keeping you stuck in survival mode. And when you're there, you can't even begin to conceptualize creating your magnetic future. But once you've gotten to step 4, thrive, in the feminine power blueprint, you will be well equipped to finally, maybe for the first time ever in your adult life, to do so. We will begin integrating your feminine energy into your whole life, making it your new normal by bringing your feminine energy into your career without compromise, or creating a whole new career if that's what's necessary. Navigating between necessary masculine tasks and feminine flow, creating sustainable systems that support your energy, balancing achievement with receptivity, and living from abundance instead of scarcity. You will know how to maintain that relationship polarity long term. This is not just going to be a short lived, amazing phase that you think back on. No, this will become the new normal dynamic for your relationship, and it feels freaking amazing. Here, I teach you how to sustain the magnetic attraction as time passes. And as a credential, I'll share that I have been with my husband for 17 years. So when I say as time passes, I know what that means. We're going to be creating rituals that reinforce his natural leadership, adapting during challenging life seasons because they will still come no matter what, deepening the connection between masculine and feminine energy, and evolving the relationship without losing that polarity ever. And perhaps most importantly to creating your magnetic future, I teach you how to actually trust your feminine intuition and how to act on it. And if that sounds or feels a little funky to you right now, that's okay. That's just a symptom of being dominated by masculine energy, which is exactly what we're healing. Trusting your feminine intuition looks like moving from logic driven to intuition guided decisions, recognizing your body's wisdom as your greatest guide, and creating from flow rather than force, the power of surrender as a manifesting tool, and building unshakable trust in yourself and the process. And let me know in the chat which area of your life would benefit most from more feminine energy and flow. Is it your career, your home life, or your relationship? Type your answer in the comments and let me know. And here are some common mistakes and pitfalls to watch out for because most women struggle with falling back into old patterns during stress or busy periods, second guessing the process when transformation takes time, feeling like they need to control outcomes, believing that they must choose between success and femininity, trying to maintain perfection rather than progress, or a lack of a supportive community who understands the journey. And these challenges can derail progress without the proper support and systems. But that's not how we do things in the feminine blueprint. We teach you how to design your life and ideal future around protecting your feminine energy. We help you dream bigger than you ever have and trust your intuition because it is never wrong, and how to truly manifest your dream life in a practical way. There's no fluff here. The feminine blueprint addresses this with intuitive leadership frameworks, make decisions from feminine wisdom, integration systems, maintain your feminine energy in all areas of life, the realignment process, navigate challenges without losing progress, magnetic vision creation, design your ideal future with clear intention. So, just to recap, that was a lot. But today you learned how to break free, how to inspire your man's masculine energy without nagging, why you don't need to hustle to be successful in life. In a nutshell, today you learned that you can finally break free from exhaustion and a life that feels different from the version that you really want to be your reality. You learned how to break free from exhaustion and overwhelm by releasing the need to manage everything, and how creating space actually invites your partner to step up in ways that nagging never ever could. And that it's the key to living the soft life of ease that you've always wanted. You learned why constantly nagging and managing everything actually blocks your partner's natural leadership, and how the simple act of leaning back creates magnetic attraction in your relationship and allows you to live a life of ease by inspiring him to step up. You saw that reconnecting with your soft feminine side isn't about being passive, but about tapping into a different kind of power that feels effortless and natural and is going to lead you to living the version of your life that feels good. You're here today because you want to inspire natural leadership and passion in your relationship, but you don't want to have to say anything to him that might hurt his ego. I hear that from women a lot. Or you want to be able to do it in a way that isn't only effective, but that feels really good and natural to you. And you're here today because you want to feel like yourself again. You want for life to feel more like the version that you want to be living, not just like one big giant to do list that you're always falling behind on. You want your man to step up without having to nag him. You want to stop feeling like your husband's mother and start feeling like his woman again. But you don't want everything to fall apart if you stop managing it all. You want a simple solution to that never ending exhaustion. You want an approach that finally addresses that bone deep exhaustion, mental and physical, that no amount of self care or bubble baths or quote unquote mean time seems to touch. Because the problem isn't that you need more things to do, it's that you need a completely different way of being and showing up in your life. You've been living a life that doesn't really feel like it's meant for you and are ready to make a change. You felt like something is missing despite having it all on paper, and you're ready to create a life that finally feels as good as it looks. Now is your time to stop living a life that looks successful on the outside, but feels like one giant, overwhelming, exhausting, never ending to do list on the inside. It's your time to experience the version of your life that really feels like it's yours. It's your time to experience what it feels like to wake up with genuine excitement instead of dread, to move through your day with a sense of flow and ease rather than pushing through one exhausting task after another. We're done with that. It's your time to stop missing out on your life for good. It's your time to stop feeling exhausted, resentful, and like you're living a life that looks good on paper but feels incredibly hard every single day. It's your time to reclaim your feminine energy in order to relish in your version of your dream life. It's your time to reclaim your feminine energy and discover how softening into it can actually be your greatest strength in your relationship and in life. It's your time to heal your wounded feminine energy with the guidance of a proven step by step system. It's your time to transform your entire experience of life, not by adding more to your plate, but by embracing a proven step-by-step system designed specifically for women who've mastered achievement on the outside, but lost themselves in the process. Remember, nothing that I've shared with you today is theory or ideas. These are the exact principles that I've used to transform my own marriage from exhausting to effortless, and that I've helped other women to inspire natural leadership in their relationships while finally experiencing the soft feminine ease that they've been craving. Now I am thrilled to introduce you to the Feminine Power Blueprint. It's the transformational framework to creating a life that finally feels as good as it looks. In this program, you'll get 8 modules, 4 bonuses, 8 workbooks to implement, a whole bunch of templates and resources, mindfulness exercises, and video and audio training. By the end of our time together, you will break free from the exhaustion cycle by healing your wounded feminine energy, allowing you to experience a level of rest and peace that you haven't felt in years, even while maintaining your success. You'll master the art of inspiring natural masculine leadership without nagging or mothering, creating a relationship dynamic where your partner steps up because he wants to, not because you told him to. You'll reconnect with your authentic self beneath all the doing and the responsibilities, rediscovering a natural magnetism that affects not just your relationship, but every single area of your life and how you experience it. You'll walk away with a complete identity transformation from the woman who's constantly hustling and managing everything to a magnetic presence who naturally inspires action without saying a word. This isn't just about balance, it's about discovering an entirely new way of moving through the world that feels both powerful and feminine. And you'll finally have the clarity and framework to stop making life so damn hard on yourself. It's a proven pathway from where you are now to where you deeply desire to be without sacrificing your achievements or strength. And here's the breakdown of what you'll learn in Module 1. We cover healing out of wounded masculine energy, what feminine and masculine energy actually is. Feminine energy is authenticity, understanding your current patterns, breaking the exhaustion cycle, create an immediate relief practice, releasing control patterns, and practical outsourcing strategies. In Module 2, we cover healing into feminine energy, creating your no BS self care framework, setting protective boundaries. You'll do an energy audit and management, practical outsourcing strategies in this regard, daily stillness rituals, setting up support structures, and reclaiming stillness and silence. In Module 3, we go over understanding polarity and magnetism, the power of your feminine energy, breaking the nagging and mothering cycles, and inspiring versus forcing change. Things get juicy in Module 4, where you'll learn how to create space for masculine energy, the power of leaning back, appreciation versus criticism, and the only thing that you need to focus on in order to inspire him to step up and lead. Module 5 is so important, and we cover opening to support, setting feminine boundaries, embracing your natural rhythm, and how allowing yourself to receive betters your romantic relationship and inspires more masculine energy. In Module 6, which has a special place in my heart because we cover topics like connecting with your desires, the beauty of joy and play, do less to do more, pleasure as power, living from flow versus force, and how to embrace pleasure even when life is particular busy or hard. We keep the goodness coming for life in Module 7, where we cover daily magnetic practices, maintaining that polarity, creating lasting ease, dropping into your body and being in flow, becoming your most powerful self. And we cover light and dark feminine energy. Module 8 really sets the tone for the rest of your life because we get deep with the important inner work like trust and intuition, future vision and planning, magnetic momentum, the long game, the inner work, and how to design your dream life and have it become your reality. And there are bonuses. You'll get the cycle syncing masterclass. Imagine working with your body's natural rhythms instead of constantly fighting against them. This powerful masterclass teaches you how to align your energy, work, and relationships with your monthly cycle, creating more ease, productivity, and connection without adding anything to your plate. You'll discover how to tap into each phase's unique gifts, yes, even during your period, why understanding your cycle is the ultimate feminine superpower, simple adjustments to your schedule that eliminate burnout, how to communicate your needs to your partner based on your cycle, and the exact foods, movement, and self care phases, practices for each phase. This isn't about tracking fertility, it's about reclaiming your natural feminine rhythm and using it to create more power and ease in everything that you do. This bonus alone is a complete game changer for your energy levels, productivity, and relationships. By implementing what I teach in it, I have completely changed how I experience my life. And bonus number 2 is the Magnetism Method private audio series. In it, you'll be able to support your feminine energy transformation in just 10 minutes a day with this exclusive audio series. Imagine having a personal guide to help you shift from stressed and overwhelmed to magnetic and centered, even on your busiest days. These powerful guided experiences are designed specifically for high achieving women like you who need practical tools that work in real life. So you'll get 10-minute long audio sessions you can listen to while commuting, walking, or getting ready, guided, simple embodiment practices that create immediate energetic shifts, techniques that, when paired with the Feminine Power Blueprint, build and solidify your feminine presence over time until it becomes your new normal. And there are morning and evening sessions that you can put together to bookend your day with powerful energy resets. And there are specific audios for particular challenging situations, like after a difficult day with the kids or before you need to have an important but difficult conversation. And this isn't just theoretical advice, it's practical in the moment support to help you instantly shift from masculine doing to feminine being, creating more magnetism and flow throughout your day. And this is a really exciting bonus that I'm excited to tell you about. It's the painful bonus, which gets you a relationship transformation audit, which is a 30-minute one on one call with me to assess your specific relationship dynamics. I'm going to give you personalized feedback on your biggest energy blocks and a custom strategy for your unique situation and relationship. And it will be recorded for you to reference at any time. And this is really beneficial whether you're in a long term relationship or you're looking for the love of your life. This bonus will transform your love life. So join us now. You can click the link below to enroll. Are you ready to wake up feeling excited about your day instead of immediately thinking about everything that you have to manage? If so, you know what to do. So I'm sure you're wondering, what is the investment? Well, just for some context, to hire me as your one-on-one coach would cost well over $3,000 for the number of hours of content that you get in the Feminine Power Blueprint. And the total value of all the course modules, the resources, the templates, everything that's included is valued at well over $4,000. But you can enroll today at the special pre-sale rate for just $87 today and then 3 payments of $87 to follow, or pay in full and save $51 by paying at $297. And as a reminder, there is a bonus for paying in full today at $297. That's the relationship transformation audit. So join us now below. You can use the button to enroll. And something I want to share is that this is a pre-sale, which is a really, really good thing for you. This is a special pre-sale opportunity, which means that you'll be among the first to experience the Feminine Power Blueprint at its absolute lowest price that it will ever be offered. And as a founding member, you'll receive each module weekly as it's created, designed with you. Yes, you specifically. If you join, I'm talking to you because I'm going to be addressing the exact and specific challenges that you're facing. I know what you need to have the transformation you're desperately craving, so I'm going to give that to you. But this also means that you get the course at a significant discount. It will literally never be this price again. And the content will be tailored to your specific needs and questions as we're building it out. You'll have direct input to what's covered in deeper detail. You'll be part of the intimate founding group with more personal attention. You'll receive all future updates and enhancements to the course for free. And I'm creating this course in real time with you, which ensures that it addresses exactly what you need, not just what I know and think that you need. The best programs aren't created in isolation, they're created through real conversations with real women. And that's why this pre sale model creates the most powerful transformation possible. And I want to talk about something for a second. Remember earlier in the presentation, in the training, when I said I was going to talk to you a little bit about what I do for work? I'm going to do that now. And I'm going to tell you why I am uniquely qualified to guide your transformation. Because before creating this program, I spent 8 years behind the scenes of the online education industry, specializing in one thing. I personally had one main focus, and that was ensuring student transformation actually happens. That was my specialty, transformation. While most course creators focus on delivering information, and let me be clear, I mean absolutely no shade here. I know everyone has the best intent and amazing information and wants the best for their students. But my expertise has always been in the mechanics of real world implementation and real fast lasting results. And this background gives me a unique advantage in creating the Feminine Power Blueprint. Because you see, I understand both the feminine energy principles and how to structure them for true transformation. Because I've been paid to do just that for the past 8 years. And frankly, I'm very good at it. I know exactly where most programs fail to bridge the gap between theory and information and practical application and real transformation. I've refined the process of turning complex concepts into simple, actionable steps that create lasting change. I've identified the exact support elements needed for women just like you to successfully implement these practices. This isn't just another course with good ideas or good information. That's out there. But I've designed every element from the module structure to the implementation tools specifically to ensure you experience the transformation that you're seeking. And my commitment isn't to simply teach you about feminine energy, it's to ensure and provide the mechanics that you actually need to experience the shift from overwhelm to ease in your real life. So, you're at the final steps. Use the secure checkout, either using PayPal or credit card. Both are available to you. And once you do, you'll immediately be able to log in to our members area. But please do keep in mind that though there will be some content in there waiting for you to be able to dig into immediately, because I'm sure you're going to be excited, as this is the pre sale, the bulk of content will be delivered weekly at the rate of one full module video and corresponding units of homework per week. And don't get turned off by the word homework. It's work that will feel really good. And I'm certainly not here to add to your already full plate because I know there's no room on there. If anything, this homework will free up your time more than anything. Now, I know you might have some questions. What if you don't even know where to start? And I hear this concern often, and honestly, it's completely natural. When you're feeling overwhelmed by everything in your life, the thought of adding one more thing can feel impossible. And that's exactly why I've designed the Feminine Power Blueprint with a clear step by step approach that meets you exactly where you are. You don't need to figure out where to start. I've already mapped that out for you. We begin with immediate relief practices in Module 1 that take just minutes a day, creating space for everything that follows. Many of my most successful students, like Jennifer, felt the exact same way. When we started working together, she had a toddler and a newborn. Later, she told me I was drowning in responsibilities and I couldn't imagine adding one more thing. But the program actually created more space in my life from the very first week, and I found it freeing. The truth is, feeling unsure where to start isn't a sign that you're not ready. It's precisely why this framework exists. Maybe you're thinking, I don't have XYZ yet. Can I still join? Absolutely. The Feminine Power Blueprint is designed for real women with real lives, not for those with perfect circumstances. You don't need to have any previous experience with feminine energy work or meditation or relationship coaching, none of that to benefit from this program. You don't need to have a perfect relationship or a flexible schedule or hours of free time. You don't even need to have told your partner about this work. Many successful students created dramatic shifts without ever having a conversation about it. In fact, I teach this stuff, right? I live, breathe, die by it. And I rarely discuss it with my husband. Instead, I have learned to embody it and do the work to make it my reality. And it just is. And that's the beauty of it. All you need is a desire for change and willingness to try a different approach. And this program is specifically designed for busy, high achieving women with full lives and responsibilities. Everything is structured to integrate into your current reality, not require you to somehow create a brand new one first. Maybe you're thinking that you're not sure if you can really do this. And I understand that doubt completely. It's often a sign that you're the exact right person for this work. Because the truth is, that voice of uncertainty is actually part of what we address in the program. It's your masculine energy trying to protect you from change, even when that change is exactly what you need. It's your limiting belief that life should be hard that's keeping you from the very peace and freedom that you desperately crave, and that I promise is available to you. You just need to do some work to get there. And here's what I can tell you: women just like you, with demanding careers, full family lives, and years of operating in survival mode, has successfully transformed through this work. And the key difference isn't having more willpower or free time or being better at feminine energy. It's simply making the decision to try a different approach and making a commitment to live the most authentic version of your life possible. You don't need to be certain that you can do this. You just need to be willing to take the first step and have a little bit of trust in yourself and what you know at your core is right for you. The framework itself will carry you through the rest. And as a reminder, there is a bonus for paying in full at $297 today. You'll get the relationship transformation audit, which I promise will transform your love life, whether you're in a long term committed relationship or you're working to find the love of your life. When this training goes live, I will be live in the chat comments with you, so please ask any questions you may have, and I'll be thrilled and excited to answer them. And if you're catching the replay, ask away and I'll get back to you ASAP. I'll be on standby watching for those comments coming in the whole time that this recording is available. It's been an honor to share this training with you, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you inside the Feminine Power Blueprint, where we can dive deep together and build the life of your dreams. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon.